Okay, so in the last video we looked at what a salt is and how a salt dissolves in seawater. And once salts dissolve in seawater, seawater has a certain amount of salinity. And salinity is just simply the amount of salt that's dissolved in that water. And we measure salinity in parts per thousand. Okay? And you'll see that abbreviated as PPT, or 0/00. And what that means is that if you have 1,000 liters of water, okay, and let's say the salinity of your water is 2. Okay, so if you have 1,000 liters of water, 2 liters of that will be salt. Okay, so it means how many parts per thousand. The average salinity of seawater is 35 parts per thousand. So if we had 1 liter of water, okay, or 1,000 parts of water, then 35 of those parts would be salt. Or it means 35 grams of salt in 1,000 grams of seawater. When we look at the salinities in the ocean, okay, the local salinities can be different than the average salinity of 35 parts per thousand for different, basically environmental or climate reasons. So you can have water that has a higher salinity in a local area because of water evaporation. So if you're at the tropics, it's sunny outside, and because it's sunny, lots more water will evaporate because the sun evaporates the water. And when water evaporates, it leaves the salts behind. And so in the tropical regions, you'll find that the water is saltier in the tropics than it is in other areas. Also, you can adjust the salinity by adding fresh water. So if you're in an area where there's lots of rain or there's a river running into the ocean, that will be adding fresh water, which will make the local salinity in that area less than the 35 parts per thousand. This picture here represents the local average salinities of the surface waters by latitude, so where on Earth you are. So 0 is the equator, okay? So you can see 0 here, all right? And so you can follow this line over. And then down here at the bottom, okay, this is how much salinity there is in the water. So here we are at 35 ppt, which is what we say the average salinity of seawater is. And then you can see those lines continue across, so you can get kind of an idea of where it is on Earth. So at the equator, okay, at 0 degrees, you actually have a lot of precipitation at the equator. And so the salinity of the water, surface waters in the ocean at the equator, are actually slightly less than the 35 parts per thousand. And actually, as you move up closer to 10 degrees, the salinity decreases even more, almost down to 34.5 parts per thousand. As you move even higher, you'll see the salinity will again increase and actually become more than the average, 35 parts per thousand. And if you look where that is, that's like right around here on Earth. And that's because this is a sunny place that doesn't have a lot of rain. And so you get more evaporation and you get higher salinity. And then as you go back towards the pole, the salinity decreases. So, and the same kind of pattern you see in the South Pole or in the Southern Hemisphere as well. So the average salinity of the seawater is 35 parts per thousand, but the local salinity will vary depending on the climate of the area that you're in.